Well, hello there.
Hello.
How are you this evening, Kristen?
Wonderful.
We have a lot to get into this evening with Salt Lake City. Slick. The Real Housewives of Slick.
This is just, I just laugh with Salt Lake City.
I cannot believe my eyes on this. I mean, for me to come into.
Well, we know you have a favorite house husband, and it's Todd.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think he's your favorite, right?
Oh my God. What has happened? This man looks exactly like Santa Claus.
He does.
But he's
grumpy.
He could suck the joy out of the season in 2 seconds. Like, I can't even wrap my head around these two's relationship. I have three.
It's beyond words.
Let's talk about this episode. But I picked up on so many awkward and just scary moments. And I also have some questions for you about it.
Okay.
Because there were a few things that I'm like, because I'm just picking it up. I just jumped into Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. I'm not a Salt Lake watcher. I knew a little about Lisa Barlow and I knew Megan Marks, but is it Megan Marks?
Meredith Marks.
Meredith Marks. Yeah. I knew it wasn't Megan.
Like her very much.
I like her too, and I think she's really pretty.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, does she have Bell's palsy? I feel like, is her mouth crooked? I'm watching her.
Well, I think
there's
she
something
has a
off.
crooked mouth, but I don't know if that's just her feature.
But you know what?
I
love that. If that is actually her feature, just from God, like I just think that's so cool. Like, listen, if I had a choice between, I'm not saying she's a dog, but I'm saying if I was going to get a dog and I saw a dog that was perfect faced or one with like a mouth that was a little off or the tongue hanging out to the side,
love that. Yeah.
I'd pick the dog with the tongue hanging out to the side every time.
Yeah.
So if that is just the way her mouth is, I think it's really cool. And I don't know if it is, but I see something a little askew. So I was like, let me just ask, because I don't know if it was a storyline somewhere in there.
Well, I only watched a little bit of season 1, and then I jumped right to this season. So I haven't seen anything in the middle.
And
so I'm kind of new to it.
Are we
too.
on season 5 here?
5.
All right, I'm topping it off a little.
Thank you. And this was episode 9, and it's called "Revenge is Best Served in Coach."
I wish I didn't start with this rando trip to Palm Springs because
I know you don't like Palm Springs so much.
No, I like
right?
Palm Springs.
Okay.
I've been there. It's a great place.
Them being there was like, get out of there.
It's just a weird dynamic.
It is.
I thought the best part of this whole episode, we're going to talk about the whole Palm Springs scenario. But I will just say, for the 5 seconds that Mary Crosby was on with her son, I'm like,
so heartbreaking.
I didn't know who this was. I'm like, wait a minute. She's walking.
That's his wife, that girl. They're married, I think.
I texted you while I'm watching it. I'm like, is it Robert Jr.?
Yes.
I'm like, what the wife? This woman looks like she's 12 and a half years old. He looks like he's 15. Like,
I know.
They're in a bed. It's the most awkward, but of course.
It's very sad.
Out of the whole.
Because they're stoned.
But wait, out of this whole episode.
Or on drugs.
This was the most interesting part. It was 2 minutes long.
I know.
But I'm like,
well, we all love. I love Mary. I've only been watching this a little bit. I love Mary.
Got some kind of headdress going on in her confessionals. I'm like, what is this?
I love her. Well, her style is crazy in a great way.
She's slowly becoming, and I've seen her for
all
of 5 minutes of screen time, becoming my favorite. And I've only seen her for 2 seconds. Yeah. But what the hell is this going on when she was like, I felt so bad for her when she was sitting there and she was like, you guys need to get up. You're not ready for the world. Like, you need to brush your teeth. You need to comb your hair.
They're just sitting there like
and
this,
then he kind of
eating
her
food
hand when she said that. But wait, is this
doing? It looks like doing nothing.
Can I ask you a question? Are these people legal?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't even know how old they are.
They've got to be teenagers. If they are like 25 and 23, I will be blown to bits. I'm thinking she's talking to her like teenager who's in high school. And then it's like Robert's wife. I was like, wife?
I think he's done with high school. So he might be of college age, but I don't think I don't know the background so well. Like, I don't know.
Oh my.
It looks like he's really not doing anything right now. So it's very sad.
And they were like, I don't even want to go far to Mary.
No, I feel for Mary though. She doesn't know what to do to help
out
them.
to you. She's like, this is my whole life. Of course it is.
It is. It's her only son.
This is your baby. Yes. And I love that she stayed home to like. Yeah.
She missed out on this very
Well, it's the worst
dynamic
part
trip.
It's the worst trip in the world. Bronwyn.
Yeah, the Bronwyn.
I have so much to say about Bronwyn. All right.
It was just the Bronwyn Todd is so disturbing. All right, let's get into it. So
Bronwyn and Todd are the most awkward couple. Bronwyn is the most awkward, nervous, dare I say, type of person I have ever met in my life.
Well, the sad thing,
by the way, I haven't met them. I've only met them on TV.
Right.
I've never met her in person. Let me say that.
You missed the first few episodes, right? When it first started, she's a new housewife. She's brand new.
She looks like she's 60.
You really liked her, and you kind of didn't mind her relationship with Todd. This trip turned it around in a really bad way.
Todd is sucking the life out of the universe.
Oh, God. He's just... Yeah, he's like a vampire of energy.
He is hideous. But I want to also mention that they are right.
What a grump.
They are.
He's a big fat grump.
They're sitting at a table and she's making a toast, right, to her husband of 10 years.
Oh, God.
She says, we have a lot of fun together. I'm like, is she high, Clary? Like, what fun with it?
Well, maybe they have fun that she was wearing a $4 million necklace.
Well, she's dripping in the diamonds. Oh, is that what you picked? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there, hands folded. She then says, this toast to him.
Oh, my God.
But she forgets to click him. Now, if I'm giving a toast to my husband.
I didn't notice that. She didn't click him?
Of 10 years.
Oh, my God.
I am looking him in the eye. I am giving him a kiss on the lips when I'm done.
Yeah.
I am hugging him and thanking him for this beautiful thing just organically. She goes, oh, I forgot Todd. They didn't kiss nothing. It's the most awkward relationship. She's so clearly there for the money. She's so clearly
I think so.
afraid or uncomfortable in her own skin next to him. How do you forget the person you're giving the toast to? We have so much fun together. You do?
Oh, God.
He looks like he's going to murder you.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
Bad.
No.
Bad.
It's just, it's really bad.
Really bad.
Well, the episode starts off with, and now in the last episode, Todd told John Barlow, you and Lisa are going to have to leave, like a father reprimanding his children,
which was crazy, and I would have been out of there.
So it picks up with basically John telling Lisa that, and Lisa's like,
and Lisa doesn't want to leave; she wants to fix it. But I also want to mention, Bronwyn's outfit looks like she's a Siegfried and Roy lion tamer.
Well, she dresses very like Alice in Wonderland, very costumey.
Horrible.
She's just very eccentric with her style. Who did she piss
off in the wardrobe area?
She talks about it a lot in this season. And by the way, her style is very out there.
These husbands are a bunch of duds.
They're duds.
Bunch of dogs. Who in God's name?
All right. I have a question. If you had to pick one who's like the best.
I'm not picking any of them.
Because I was going to say, if I have to pick one, Seth, maybe.
But Seth, you want to know something?
Let's marry this husband.
Seth is screaming, I'm having an affair. He wants out of there so fast.
Oh,
she's like, we haven't.
Do you think he's having an affair?
He screams to me, I'm cheating and I want out of this. He's like, well, because he just keeps saying it like, I'm heading to Minnesota. Is that where you're
Ohio?
Okay, same difference. He's heading to Ohio. Really? Why? You're going to be there for a fucking week?
Oh, God.
And she's like, we didn't really settle on anything. Meanwhile, this man is like, bye-bye, as he's like doing, look at the proof.
Get me at it. Well, wasn't
that him?
That was the best when he said
him?
that proof, biatch. That was him. That was him. But before we get to that, so did you like the Top Gun volleyball parody that they showed?
This is so far
okay, that was
from
fun.
any Top Gun situation. Top Gun. We're
so you got these like out of shape-ish
We're talking
men.
about Tom Cruise. Oh. We're talking about Iceman. We're talking about what was his name when he was hot to trot?
Goose.
Not Goose.
Iceman, Goose, and
I'm forgetting
Slater.
Iceman's name.
I forgot whatever their names were. Yeah, I know.
Either way, this is a group of complete.
Yeah. Slider. I think that's Slider.
No. Toned blubber. What is going on here? I see women like spraying block. I'm like, what is happening? This is the worst.
It was so cheesy that it was actually kind of funny that they were doing like a Top Gun parody with them playing volleyball. Thank
God they have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because this crowd, it just shows me that the Mormons are just all a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, but there's nothing, you're right, nothing stands out about the husbands. Now, I'm going to say something. I'm going to make a quick comparison.
Dogs. Absolute dogs.
A winning ticket for a good housewife is to
Lisa
have
Barlow.
an awesome house husband.
These
Am I
guys
right?
Are the worst.
That's why I think, now I'm going to pivot to OC for a minute. That's why I think we like Katie. Because Katie's got a great husband.
I don't like her husband, though. He's vanilla. He's boring. He's collagen protein.
Okay.
He's clear protein.
I'll go to another one. Why? Now, they're not anymore, but why did we like Kyle? Because we loved Mauricio.
I didn't like Mauricio. I thought Mauricio added nothing but just being stoned all the time.
But I do think in general, he was a little stoned, but he was popular.
But he was also cute enough.
He was cute.
That's cute what I'm saying. Enough.
A winning ticket for a housewife, a good housewife, is to have a very interesting house husband. Now,
these guys look like used car salesmen. He was even wearing a plaid blazer.
These poor housewives in Salt Lake City, they got to work a little overtime because none of their husbands are cutting it. Especially Bronwyn's.
Is it Angie? Is it Angie's husband who was wearing the plaid blazer, who was talking about, I would never come after your husband? Or no, not your husband. He was telling Meredith, I would never come after your child, your son. And I thought that,
because their son Brooks is gay.
He was wearing a used car salesman blazer. He reminded me of Herb from WKRP.
So
I'm going way back.
You weren't impressed with Sean?
All of these men are, I don't know. Did they get them at the Five Below? Where did they get these guys? And by the way, Whitney's husband, who reminds me of Whitney.
Justin.
Who reminds me of Whitney from Mom Talk. She reminds me of Mom Talk. She should be in with the Mom Talkers on the Real Lives of the Mormon Wives.
Yeah, I know.
He screams gay to me.
Oh, he does?
What is he doing? How is he even married to a woman? I don't even get it. I'm like, is this man gay? Well, he does not seem like a straight man.
Whitney and him met while he was still married, and I think they had an affair, and then they wound up getting married. So
this man is not a straight man.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. Whitney is cutish, but she reminds me like she should be with the Mom Talkers. I don't even understand. But I did think it was funny as they were back and forth over the table that Lisa says at one point, the proof is in my tequila. I was like, all right, Lisa, that comes out.
I do like Lisa. I don't know why.
She's slightly crazy.
She's crazy.
And she, again, like Bryn from New York.
Yeah.
She's always in the hot seat. She's always in the hot seat. But let's also talk about let's also talk about when they were watching at this dinner. They were watching the hearts in the sky, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is his and Todd and Bronwyn's 10th anniversary. He's, again, standing there with his arms folded.
He's like this.
It was quick, but he's standing there with his arms folded. He's looking up at the sky.
Oh, God.
Like, what? You're not even touching your wife. This is a horrible, awful marriage.
He didn't do good research. He obviously did not know what it meant going into a housewife show.
Oh, my
This man
God.
had no idea. And I think he's like,
well,
this is not for me.
I think she's doing it to kind of get away from him she's like, oh, Todd travels a lot. I'm like, you better thank your lucky stars that Todd. And they were talking about sexual positions, and he was like,
they were
all
playing
of them.
The newlywed game.
I was like, oh.
You know what the worst was too? The newlywed game was kind of funny.
The crypt keeper?
Oh, God, the crypt keeper. What was also was that Angie, the one that was putting together the newlywed game at the table, when she said to Bronwyn, how are things with Gwen? Because there is a backstory about Bronwyn's daughter, Gwen. And Todd's like, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about it.
Shut it right down.
Shut it right down. That was really, I was like, I feel like he's the father and these are children.
I wanted to ask, where Bronwyn and Gwen don't get along? And that's his daughter?
No, so Gwen,
I didn't understand it.
Gwen is Bronwyn's daughter from her first relationship. So she had Gwen when she was like 19. And then this is another quick backstory. She had Gwen when she was 19. She kept Gwen. The father wanted nothing to do with it. And then the father's family wants nothing to do with them. Wow. The father died about 2 years later. So Gwen does not know her father. And the father's family is friends with Lisa Barlow. And they don't want anything to do with Gwen. And Gwen is their grandchild.
Oh, wow.
So it is a little, that's why Angie was asking, how's it going with Gwen? And Todd's like, we're not talking about that. So, I get it. It was his way of I guess, protecting it.
But he's borderline abusive.
Oh, man.
I don't even want to see.
I think he thinks I'm at work. He's the CEO of a big company, right? I think he's like, I'm at work. These are my subordinates.
Well, he's probably like, oh my God,
these are my subordinates, and you work for me. But and also, that's how he carries it into social.
How is anyone going to take him seriously as a CEO? He's on this idiot show, Salt Lake City, with these complete blowhards.
Well, he's old. He should just retire. But he was CEO at one time for HP, Hewlett Packard. I mean, he's a big deal.
Wow. Well, why?
But maybe he figured, I'm going to give my wife her own identity.
Give me the backstory.
By
why
being on the show.
Is Bronwyn married to this in this loveless marriage? She has to come from
So
Zip.
she said, I think that she worked at the company he was at the time where he was CEO, and they fell in love.
Really? I don't believe they fell in love.
I don't know.
Wait, Bronwyn says at one point, she says, lucky for Bronwyn, Todd travels a lot. I'm saying to myself, right?
Very lucky for her.
Like he's the opposite of E.T. Like he's just like, he walks into the room and like all the flowers die, you know? But
instead of when E.T. comes in, all the flowers die. He takes out his black
card, which is so awkward. Like they're such a weird couple. And she's like, that's why I love him, or something to that effect.
Well, she even said, did you see the part when she said, I thought I was going to be embarrassed by the ladies, but I'm actually embarrassed by Todd. Mm-hmm. So she's admitting like this marriage has a lot of problems. I think we didn't see these problems when the season first started. We just said, okay, this is a much older man married to a younger woman, but there's a lot of problems there. And I think that they showed previews. The problems are going to show more of.
Right. When she says what I've been through with Todd. And I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah, I think.
And by the way, Bronwyn looks so much older than her age. If she's 38, this woman could still give birth to a child. She looks like she's ready to like drink rose tea in the garden. She looks old to me.
Do you think it's because she has such a maturity about her?
I think it's the short haircut. I'm going to be much more shallow.
Yeah, because they showed pictures of her with longer hair. She does look younger with the longer hair.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's talk about.
But what was funny too was in the confessional, they asked Todd, will you ever do this again? A trip like this? He goes, never again.
Oh yeah, he's horrible. He has no personality. He has no fun about him. No. But what was the whole thing that was going on with Meredith apologizing to the was it Angie's husband?
Yes, Sean.
And he was saying if I did anything to your gay son, and she was like, you're using your gay son to very bad personality, or
I think
it was a whole
and
thing.
Again, we haven't watched past, right? But I think that Meredith alluded to something about Sean being gay in a prior season.
And he is gay.
And he's not. No,
he's
Sean
not.
is married to Angie.
No. But her son is gay.
But
Meredith's
her son
is gay.
Brooks is gay.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, side note, Brooks is going to be on Making It in Manhattan, which is going to have Gita Giudice and some others. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think he's in that show. But anyway, so I think that Meredith had one point alluded to the fact that Sean might be gay, or he looks gay. I don't know, something like that. And now Sean went on a podcast whenever. And he was, I think, saying something about that, and that she's using her son as a way to deflect
from her bad behavior.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, I could be botching this up totally, but I think it is something.
Yeah, it's something in that realm.
Yes. So that's what that whole conversation was about. So that was that was when Seth said, proof biatch, because there was an article about it. Because Sean said, I never said that. And then it was
I feel like Seth was trying to get it out before he's like, I'm out of here. I got my biatch waiting for me wherever in Ohio. Like he was like trying to hang out. I got really be like, haha, I'm here, make my mark, and I gotta go. I'm out the door. But I thought also when they went to see the Indy driver race, and she was like,
that was fun.
We've had to pull all these strings again. But I even thought like Bronwyn strikes me as someone who's so uncomfortable and like a big fat loser. Like she couldn't just be cool about it. Like
I know. And she was very worried about how everything was going to turn out.
You know who she reminds me of? She looks exactly like Mary Tyler Moore as Laura Petrie in the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Okay.
She's got the short hair. She's wearing like the clam diggers or like, the short pants.
That's
like what are they called?
Comparison.
It's a great comparison. She looks exactly like her. And like she's married to this, but she's unfortunately not married to Dick Van Dyke. She's married to Todd, the freaking loser,
an old
dude.
Grump. An old fart. He's an old fart.
He's an old fart.
He's an old fart.
Sucks the life. Like I get sick and nervous just watching him on TV.
No,
like, he makes me nervous.
He makes me uncomfortable, right? Like you get uncomfortable just watching this guy and the way he is with his wife and other people.
I don't know.
What was kind of funny was the end when they were all flying coach. Oh my God.
Isn't that the name of the episode?
Lisa Barlow's like, I'm in seat 17. Like she was horrified.
And you're on. She was like, but I'm with Lisa Barlow on this because let me tell you, if my ass is in the back of the plane,
it's a small plane,
I am pissed.
Oh yeah,
not because you're sitting by the bathroom, but because you're never getting off the damn plane. Now, if I was on the phone, on the plane,
but it was just a 65-minute flight.
It wasn't. It was 39 minutes or something.
Oh, is that what it was?
I 39 minutes. Okay. So let me tell you, if it was a 39-minute flight, I would have sucked it up and been like, "You're paying for it." So I'm going to shut my mouth. She's got her dumbass husband on the phone going like, "Hello, what? Oh, yeah. Is there any more seats left? No, there's only 4." But wait.
She was having a heart attack, and she said she doesn't wear coach and she doesn't fly coach, which is so funny.
But here's what I thought was another random thing that Bronwyn said, and this is what I mean by her being awkward and uncomfortable.
Okay.
She said, well, I don't know. There were only 4 seats in first class, so I sat Todd and my skanky asses up there. And I thought to myself, this is how you're referring to your CEO, maybe 20 years your senior husband who you love, who's the funnest and the greatest guy, like as skanky. Listen, even if she was trying to make a joke, like, Bronwyn, you're not that cool to make that kind of a joke.
No.
Like, we're so fat
I think she was
there.
Trying to make light of it, like it's funny.
Yeah, but like, no, Bronwyn, like that did not roll over. So it was just another thing of their weird ass
dynamic marriage,
weirdo relationship. Like,
hell
what?
Yes.
And then just like I don't know. This
man.
whole group. Let me tell you, these guys, all I thought was these guys are trying. I don't know if they're trying, but it kind of had a Jersey dynamic. Like the husbands are really involved.
Yeah.
Meaning just that the husbands are involved, but the Jersey husbands are great.
They're more interesting.
They're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
These guys are like,
no.
These guys are weird and awkward and Bronwyn and Todd
not cool.
Suck. I'm like, Mary Crosby is so happy she stayed home watching her son in bed with
I know.
12-year-old wife. Like she's having a better time than I would have had at Bronwyn's freaky party.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What a awful weekend.
Yes.
Even with the and I love car racing. I love that stuff. But I was like, if I had to be with this group and if I had to marry Todd, I'd rather live in the gutter. I'd rather live in the gutter with rain coming down on me than marry this sucking like the life out
relic,
of me guy.
This relic.
He's beyond relic. He's died 20 years ago. Nobody told him. He's dead.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
I would run if I were her. I don't care how much money that man has.
I don't care.
I read about it. He's worth like $25 million.
That's not even a lot of money.
I would still run.
$25 million is nice. It's not generational money though.
No,
I don't think you can.
Think so.
You can do your children's children on $25 million.
Right.
Not in today's world. So what in God? I gave Bronwyn 2 more years with this guy. I hope I'm sure she signed an ironclad prenup with this guy.
I hope.
But
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, Lisa not flying coach. Lisa, shut up.
She's so funny. The funny thing is that her and John were like, "Oh, I can't wait to go home to see Jack or Henry, their son."
Oh, their son. I love the name
but
Henry.
but he can wait because we're not flying coach. It was funny.
Oh, she's like, "Can we get a direct or something?
Can we do something else?"
I was like, "Lisa, slow the fuck down."
No, she is funny though. Her reaction was hysterical. Anyway, so. Was this a to be continued? I think it was. Oh, and then they showed like the rest of the season, like the premiere for the rest of the season.
It's mid-season now, so they're showing. I didn't see that. What was going on?
It's episode. Well, it does. It's episode 9, so they probably got about 7 or 8 episodes left.
7 more.
Well, no, it was showing that there definitely are some more holes in the Bronwyn marriage.
And she also had these giant, like it looked like she was wearing tomatoes in her ear.
This is her style. Her style is very eccentric. And also, there's a lot of fighting that is shown between Lisa Barlow and Angie, so I think that's going on. And
Angie, I don't understand. Angie is.
I like
Greek?
Angie.
Is she Greek?
She's Greek.
Well,
yes.
she was like Greek. Yeah. Greek women do not apologize. I was like, all right, I like that.
I
don't
like
really
the way she talks and expresses herself.
I liked her too.
I like
her.
The
husband reminded me of her from WKRP. Oh. I was like, yikes! Like these dudes are just a bunch of like. Whoa.
I think Seth wins, and he's not even that great.
5 below.
Okay, yeah.
Not even the dollar store.
On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe they're a 5.
And
Todd is a 0.
Oh, Todd. Todd needs. I don't care.
Todd,
I don't care if Todd is just jacking off diamonds. I don't care.
I don't care.
I do not care. You could not pay me to even go meet him. Just say hi. How are you?
No, thanks.
Oh my God.
Just be a CEO.
All right, Real Housewives of
Okay.
Slick. We're gonna get back to you next week, but I think we're gonna end it there. We're gonna wrap it up.
We are. It was good.
All right.
Okay.
Listen, thanks everybody for listening. Check us out on
Littler
Podcast, LITLR Podcast, YouTube at Ladies in the Living Room. And the living room is shutting down, but as we say, it never really shuts down, does it, Kristen?
No.
We're always talking about Bravo and Housewives. And it's the Miami.
Reality.
It's also the Miami, Bravo Miami Fan Fest this weekend.
Oh, that's exciting.
So we should have some
we got to have some feedback about that.
All right, we'll say goodnight, Kristen.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all for listening. It means so much to us. Keep listening.
Thank you so much. We love you. And bye.
Bye-bye.